Hey everyone, Pastor Daniel here. It's my turn to lead our weekly devotional. I'm really glad you're with me today. Sometimes in life, you and I just need a refresher on who we are. Sometimes we just need someone to look us in the face and say, this is who you are. This is who you are. This is what God made you to be. In Matthew chapter 5, Christ does that. In verses 13 through 16, he gives these two you are statements, and he says, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Now, notice he didn't say anything about maybe, right? There was no, you might, could be salt. You coulda, shoulda been the light of the world, or you might be if you try real hard. I mean, Christ doesn't do anything like that. He says, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. It's a very, very clear statement that it's what you are right now. And so what I'm reminding us all today, including myself, that God has called me to be salt, and he's called me to be the light of the world. Now, for us here, 2025, when we hear the talk of salt, we think, stay away from salt. We don't really connect with that right now. But for a first century audience, when they hear the talk of salt, it is life for them. Some of them have been paid with salt for the work they've done. Salt keeps their food fresh so they can live longer. It's a cleaner, it's a filter that they use, a cleansing agent of some sort for their times. I mean, salt was necessary for life, for the people hearing Jesus say this. So this landed with them, it connected with them at a deep level. But for us, it's just like something that we don't fully understand. We haven't lived that life. But it's still so important for us to understand that in that context, it applies to us today, that what Jesus is saying is that you're salt. And so your job in this world is to stop the decay. Your job in this world is to not allow things to go bad, to not allow things to go from bad to worse, and to maybe be that one little thread that's keeping a situation from falling apart. That's what salt does. It preserves things. It keeps things fresh. That's what Jesus is calling us to do. We are the salt of the earth. Salt also is a powerful agent that creates desire. It creates a thirst. And that is one other thing that we're called to do as believers. We are to give people something that they want. We're to create a craving within people that I want the life they have. There's something different about them. I want to be what they are. And that's what salt does besides preserving. Now, he also says we're the light of the world. And notice that it wasn't you're the spotlight of the world, or that the light is shining upon you and it's about you, or you're going across the earth and you're blinding people with your light. That is not what Christ is saying. He is saying we are the town on a hill, the warm glow of a town on a hill that draws people to itself, that's welcoming, that's warm, that's inviting. That's the type of light that you and I are called to be. I love being a dad. I love it. Dad life is amazing. I truly love all three of my children. But I can tell you right now, in full confession, that I am really good at being the spotlight dad. And I don't mean like shining the spotlight on my kids in a, like I am pumping them up way. Like I can be the dad that shines the light of criticism, that shines the light of get this done, and then allowing that to cause frustration within me. And that's not a good type of light. What I want to be as a father, and what I want to be as a husband and a pastor and a friend, is I want God to help me to understand that the light I'm supposed to be is that warm, welcoming light that doesn't draw attention to itself per se, but it shows people the way. It shows people where to go. I've got to get better at that. But that's the type of light that God has made me to be. The light of the world, that's welcoming, that's loving, that's kind, that draws people to something greater than themselves. Salt and light, this is what we are called to be. So today, I encourage you to think about the situations you're in your life and ask yourself, am I making it better? Am I the one thing that's holding this situation together? Can I be the salt that keeps this whole thing from falling apart, this whole thing from going bad. What can I do to help a situation? And then ask yourself, am I taking the light that God has given me, and am I shining it in a way that's judgmental and that's could be arrogant and rude and self-righteous, or am I that warm, welcoming light that draws others to Jesus Christ? Remember who you are. God made you to be salt and light. And I pray today that you can go and just be that, because that is who you are. I've been listening to a lot of Billy Graham lately, and I love hearing his old sermons. And one of the things he asked a crowd of probably 40,000 people in one of the sermons I was recently watching, he said, where does light shine? Where does light shine? It sounds like a trick question. And I remember him asking it in the sermon. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. I'm wondering, like, he's going to have some grand answer here. Where does light shine? Where does light shine? And he just pauses for a long moment. And then he just tells the crowd, light shines wherever it is. And there was silence over the whole stadium. And he just said, wherever you go, you shine. You're the light of the world. Shine where you are. Church, I love you. Love you all. Thank you for watching, and I pray you have a great week. Go be who you are, and I'm praying for you. Take care.